young Homer, here to guide you to the final chapter of Series 8, Implications of Zeus's Actions, Seen and Unseen Consequences in the Rise and Fall of Zeus. Tonight, we conclude with episode 72, The Rise of Mortal Heroes. The gods weaken. In this tale, we see the world shifting as mortals, imbued with courage and ambition, begin to take destiny into their own hands. Mortal heroes like Hercules, Perseus, and Theseus emerge, each one achieving feats once thought possible only for gods. As humanity grows stronger, the influence of the gods begins to fade, their power no longer absolute. This story marks a turning point, a time when Olympus feels the slow, steady rise of mortal will, and the gods themselves begin to wane in influence. As we enter this tale of change and resilience, allow yourself to settle deeply into the warmth of your bed, feeling safe, supported, and fully at rest. Close your eyes if you wish, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm fill your chest, as steady as the rise of new dawns across an ancient world. As you exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing your body to grow heavy, sinking into stillness and peace. This is your time to rest, to release, and to find ease. Now, focus on the gentle rhythm of your breath, each inhale and exhale like the quiet, enduring pulse of mortal strength. Take a slightly deeper breath in, letting it fill you completely, and hold it softly for a moment. Then, as you exhale, imagine any tightness dissolving, leaving only warmth and tranquility. One more time, breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking deeper, calm and serene. Now, let's guide each part of the body to soften, inviting rest with every breath. Start with your forehead, allowing it to relax completely as you exhale. Move to your jaw, releasing any tightness, letting it rest softly. Now bring awareness to your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let them fall gently, as though settling like dust upon an ancient stone. Allow your arms and hands to grow heavy, resting peacefully by your sides. Notice the steady rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises, and on the exhale, releasing any last bits of tension, feeling light and free. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeper into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. And finally, bring attention to your calves, feet, and toes, allowing them to release completely, grounded and calm. Now, imagine yourself standing on a quiet hillside at dawn, overlooking a vast world below where heroes tread paths that once belonged only to the gods. In the distance, you see figures of legend, mortal heroes rising with courage and strength, each one forging their own fate. High above, the gods watch from Olympus, their gazes steady, yet a new understanding dawning as they witness the strength of humankind, the balance of power shifting quietly beneath them. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by the calm strength of this moment, as though you, too, are part of the timeless resilience that lives within the human spirit. Inhale deeply, letting the calm and power of the scene fill you, and exhale, feeling grounded, steady, and fully at ease. With your body relaxed and your mind open, allow the story to carry you into this world of courage, change, and timeless strength, where the legacy of gods and mortals intertwine. Take one last deep breath in and let it out softly. Now, let us begin. As Zeus looked down upon the mortal world, he saw something he had not expected. Mortals, warriors, kings, and champions, rising to greatness through their own strength and cunning. They were no longer the vulnerable beings who once knelt before Olympus in awe and supplication. Instead, mortals had begun to carve their own destinies, guided by ambition, courage, and the thirst for honor. Heroes like Achilles, Odysseus, and Theseus had accomplished feats that rivaled those of the gods, earning renown and respect that reached even the ears of the divine. These mortals did not seek the favor of gods as readily as their ancestors had. Many looked within themselves for strength, forging alliances, building empires, and challenging the rule of Olympus in subtle, defiant ways. Zeus saw in them a determination that bordered on pride, a refusal to bow to the whims of gods who, to mortals, seemed increasingly distant and detached. Mortals had tasted independence, and with it, they began to question the need for divine intervention in their lives. In these heroes, Zeus saw a new kind of power, a power that came not from the gods, but from the will of humanity itself. And though he admired their bravery, he knew that this shift signaled the beginning of an era that could one day challenge Olympus. The world of men saw a rise in legendary figures whose tales spread far and wide. Achilles, the invincible warrior of Greece, had been blessed by his mother, the sea nymph Thetis, yet his strength and courage were his own. He charged into battle with an unparalleled ferocity, defying fate itself to seek a legacy in his own right. Odysseus, the clever king of Ithaca, used wit and ingenuity to navigate challenges, outsmarting even the gods' tests and showing a resilience that left an indelible mark on history. These heroes and others like them no longer depended solely on divine aid. They relied on their own cunning and valor. To many gods, this was an unsettling development. Apollo watched mortals compose poetry and create art. Athena observed their growing wisdom in battle strategies, and Ares saw that human wars had become ever more ruthless and resourceful. Even mortals' weapons were evolving, forged with techniques that rivaled Hephaestus's craftsmanship, their armor designed to withstand the elements and the gods' wrath alike. The mortals' independence inspired awe and unease among the gods, while some, like Athena and Apollo, admired humanity's tenacity. Others feared that this boldness would lead to outright defiance. In these heroes, they saw reflections of the Titans, proud and resilient beings who could stand against divine rule. As the stories of mortal heroes grew, Olympus felt the shift, the subtle erosion of the line between God and man. In his solitude, Zeus pondered the consequences of humanity's growing strength. Once, mortals had depended on the gods for protection, prosperity, and guidance. They had prayed, offered sacrifices, and held Olympus in reverent awe. But now, as heroes emerged and mankind found strength in its own hands, the gods felt the reverberations of a world that was learning to live without them. Mortals turned to their heroes for inspiration and hope, and Zeus saw temples that once bustled with offerings beginning to grow quiet. Zeus understood that this change was inevitable, that as mortals grew in strength, they would seek freedom from the control of Olympus. He had seen it before in his struggle against the Titans, a younger generation seeking autonomy, seeking to carve its own path in the world. But Zeus was torn. He respected humanity's resilience, yet feared that their rising independence would erode the divine authority that Olympus depended upon. This was no ordinary rebellion. It was a subtle but powerful shift in the fabric of the cosmos, a slow unraveling of the reverence that had kept the gods connected to the mortal realm. To Zeus, the heroes represented both the height of mortal achievement and a warning that the gods' influence might one day fade from the world. He knew that a new balance was needed, one that would allow both gods and mortals to coexist without the strict boundaries of the past. As mortal heroes grew in strength, some gods, unwilling to surrender their authority, tested them with challenges and trials. Athena guided warriors in wisdom, pushing them to see if they could match her strategies. Apollo watched over poets and oracles, curious to see if they could wield their talents without divine inspiration. Hera, wary of mortal pride, sent misfortunes upon heroes who dared to challenge the sanctity of Olympus. Even Zeus himself placed obstacles in the paths of the greatest heroes, wanting to see if they could rise to the heights they claimed without divine aid. Hercules, his own mortal son, had endured relentless trials, each task a test of resilience that solidified his place among legends. But these trials only strengthened mortal resolve. Heroes like Perseus and Theseus faced their challenges head-on, battling monsters, enduring loss, and emerging stronger, fueled not by fear of the gods, but by a determination to forge their own fates. In each hero, Zeus saw the evolution of humanity's spirit, a spirit that no longer looked to Olympus for validation, but instead found worth in self-made courage and valor. The gods could test them, punish them, and bless them, but the mortal heroes continued on, undeterred. It was in these trials that the gods realized they could not extinguish the mortal will, and that humanity's rise was a force they could not control. As Zeus observed humanity's relentless drive, he found himself reflecting on the nature of power. He had once believed that the gods' strength would always keep mortals in awe, that Olympus would forever be revered as a realm untouchable by human hands. But as he watched mortals stand tall, even in the face of divine wrath, he understood that power alone could not bind them. Humanity's spirit had evolved beyond fear, driven by dreams of legacy, freedom, and the pursuit of greatness. In his moments of introspection, Zeus recognized the beauty of mortality, a brief but vibrant existence, one that forced mortals to act with urgency and purpose. For gods, time stretched infinitely. For mortals, it was fleeting. This gave their achievements a weight that even the gods respected. Zeus began to see that the rise of mortal heroes was not a threat, but an evolution, a testament to the resilience of life itself. Zeus also understood that perhaps the gods had misused their power, that their interventions had often been more for their own amusement or pride than for the good of humanity. The Age of Heroes was a reminder that power, while essential, needed to be wielded with respect and purpose, and that the gods' role was to guide, not to control. In this revelation, Zeus found a quiet acceptance, realizing that perhaps the gods could coexist with mortals in a way that allowed both to thrive. The stories of mortal heroes became legends, immortalized in songs, poems, and the hearts of those who heard them. Achilles, Odysseus, Hercules, Perseus, each one a name that inspired future generations, each one a beacon of what humanity could achieve. These heroes were seen not just as mortal men, but as symbols of resilience, courage, and the ability to transcend even the will of the gods. Mortals told tales of their heroes as figures who defied fate, challenging both destiny and Olympus, carving out a legacy that bridged the realms of the divine and human. The gods, too, felt the change. They saw in these heroes a reflection of their own strengths and flaws, understanding that mortal lives, though brief, were powerful in ways that even immortals envied. The rise of mortal heroes forced the gods to re-evaluate their own roles, realizing that reverence came not from fear alone, but from mutual respect and shared trials. Some gods found solace in this balance, becoming patrons to the heroes who shared their values. Athena guided those who pursued wisdom, and Artemis watched over hunters who revered the wild. Yet, even as the gods embraced this new era, they understood that their role had shifted, their influence woven together with mortal ambition and heroism. Olympus would endure, but its place in the world had changed. Mortals in their strength had shown the gods that they too could shape their own destinies, forging lives that echoed through eternity. In the rise of heroes, the gods found a legacy they could not control, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. As Zeus looked upon the mortal world, he felt a profound respect for the heroes who had reshaped his understanding of power and legacy. He realized that the gods and mortals were bound together in ways that could not be broken, their fates intertwined not by domination, but by respect. Mortals, through their bravery and determination, had earned their place alongside the gods, showing that greatness could come not only from divine favor, but from human will. In this acceptance, Zeus found peace. He understood that the age of heroes had left a legacy that would endure for generations, a legacy that transcended the boundaries of Olympus. The gods would remain, but they would watch over a world that had learned to stand on its own, a world where mortals and gods could exist side by side, bound by a mutual respect that had been hard won. Zeus's reflection on the heroes marked the beginning of a new age, a time when Olympus would serve as both a guiding force and a distant memory, a time when mortals would carry forward the lessons of their heroes, weaving their own stories, facing their own destinies, and shaping a world that balanced both mortal ambition and divine grace. With the rise of mortal heroes, Zeus had found not an ending, but a transformation, a shift toward a future where gods and mortals would coexist, each contributing to a world that honored both resilience and reverence. But as Olympus embraced this balance, Zeus would face his own vulnerabilities. Join us in the next series as we explore the flaws, mistakes, and challenges that would ultimately lead to the decline of Zeus's power. Discover how the king of gods, once seemingly untouchable, would confront his own hubris, his fears, and the shifting faith of a world evolving beyond his grasp. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with peace, strength, and a touch of magic. I'm young Homer, and I look forward to our next story together.